I don't pay black help to make decisions. I pay you to obey. Christopher Sterling's voice sliced through the silence. He loomed over Anna Wilson on stair 38, her dark hands gripping his father, Edward. He ripped the x-rays from her bag and threw them at her feet. 2 weeks of a black maid playing doctor. He kicked the papers down. You people always overstep. Give you a paycheck, suddenly you think you belong. Anna's voice broke. Sir, I what? He grabbed her diary and slammed it against the railing. The spine cracked. Playing savior? That's what your kind does. He hurled it down the stairs. Pages exploded across marble. Pack your things, Dawn. Show your face here again, and no family in this neighborhood will touch you. In 40 minutes, this man would shatter in this hallway, because the truth waiting for him would prove the only monster here wore a $3,000 suit. But let's rewind. What Christopher saw wasn't the full story. It was the ending of something that started 14 days earlier with a broken machine and a woman who'd already lost one father to distance. Anna Wilson didn't come to America to be a hero. She came to outrun guilt. 5 years ago, her father died in Lagos. 3 months of sickness. 3 months of her saying, "Next month, Dad." $1,800 for a plane ticket. She had $1,300. She thought she had time. Her father died on a Tuesday. Anna was folding laundry in Manhattan, $500 and 4,000 miles short. When she interviewed with Christopher Sterling 2 years ago, she saw Edward in his bedroom window, staring at a garden he couldn't reach. 79. Retired federal judge, stroke survivor. Parkinson's tremors in his eyes, that look. A man running out of time while everyone pretended there was plenty. Christopher was smooth. My father needs full-time care. $28 an hour. Health insurance. The elevator's custom Italian cost $180,000. Think you can handle it? Anna said yes, not for the elevator. For the man in the window who looked like her second chance. For 2 years, it worked. Anna learned Edward's rhythms. Coffee with 3 sugars on good days, 1 on bad. Nightmares about old cases. Cookies hidden from the dietitian. Edward treated her like family. Helped her study for citizenship. Gave her his wife's cookbook. To Anna, who makes this house a home, Christopher saw none of it. Dubai, Singapore, London. 68 buildings, $3.2 billion. Quick airport calls. Dad okay, Anna? Great. Keep it up. Click. Next flight. Next deal. He thought he was being a good son. Providing. Everything except what Edward wanted. His attention. October 15th. The elevator stopped between floors. No drama, just stopped. The technician came Wednesday. Custom Italian motor. Order from Milan. 4 to 6 weeks. Peter Thornton understood immediately. Edward needed upstairs. His bedroom, his sanctuary. Downstairs meant kitchen staff, the dietitian, public space. Places where an old man who couldn't control his bladder lost dignity. Peter called Christopher's office. Got Jennifer. Mr. Sterling's in critical negotiations. No interruptions unless life-threatening. Can you handle it? Peter looked at the stairs. 42 steps. Edward weighed 180. Peter was 61 with arthritis. Housekeepers weren't trained. Chef had back problems. Then Anna, 5'3", 130, but she'd worked nursing homes. I can manage a few days, she said, until Mr. Sterling approves the repair. Peter sent the email. Subject urgent. Elevator repair approval needed. Company can expedite for $18,000 versus 6 weeks. Edward needs second-floor access. It landed in Christopher's inbox. Message 2357, unread, day 1, 7 p.m. Anna looked at Edward at the stairs. Mr. Edward, we're going up, he protested. Anna, this is too much. I'll sleep downstairs. She smiled. You're lighter than nursing home patients. This is nothing. 22 minutes, 3 stops. By stair 30, her back burned. But when she tucked Edward in, heard him whisper thank you, she thought, worth it. What she didn't say, 3 months earlier, her doctor showed her an x-ray. L4, L5 herniated disc, grade 2, avoid heavy lifting. Grade 4 means surgery or paralysis. Anna nodded, filed the x-ray in her drawer, kept working, day 2, 3, 4. Christopher's assistant sent auto replies. Mr. Sterling is traveling. Contact estate manager. Peter already had. She'd said handle internally. Day 5, Anna's grip slipped at stair 18. Edward's leg dropped. She caught it. Lightning through her spine. Face went white. Edward saw. Anna, please, I'll sleep downstairs. She got him up, then cried 20 minutes. Afterward, opened a notebook. Day 5, dropped his leg, back pain, 7/10. Still manageable. Day 8, pain hit 8. Anna went to Dr. Morrison secretly. X-ray made him pale. Grade 3. You need to stop. Now. She took the print. That night, he texted, "Stop all heavy lifting immediately. Permanent damage risk." She read it at stair 24 with Edward on her back. Turned off phone. Kept climbing. Day 10, Peter reached Christopher in Dubai. "Sir, Anna's been carrying your father twice daily for 10 days. I really think—" Christopher cut him off. "Peter, I'm closing a $70 million deal. Can Anna handle it?" "Yes, sir, she's handling it. Good. Home in 4 days. Click. 4 became 7. Singapore opportunity. Day 12, pain hit 9. Anna returned to Morrison. X-ray showed grade 4. "Anna, you are at immediate risk of permanent paralysis. I'm documenting this. If you continue, you may never walk normally again." Anna asked the caregiver question. "How long? If I do this a few more days, definite or just risk?" Morrison closed his eyes. "Russian roulette, Anna. Every lift pulls the trigger. Maybe fine, maybe the next severs the nerve. I can't tell when, only that it's not worth it. But it was to Anna. She'd failed one father." Day 13, Christopher emailed from Dubai. "Peter, extending 3 days. Singapore opportunity came up. Keep things running." Peter read it and put his head in his hands. That night, Anna climbed at 8:45. By stair 30, she couldn't breathe. Edward said, "We're going back down. This is insane." Anna shook her head. "Just 12 more, Mr. Edward. They made it." Tucking him in, her hands shook. Edward grabbed one. "Why are you doing this? I'm not worth this." Anna looked at him. This man who'd treated her like family. Asked about her daughter. Gave her his wife's cookbook. "Yes, you are." Day 14. Anna woke unable to stand. Back locked. 4 ibuprofen. 30 minutes stretching. Finally movement. She opened her diary. Day 14. "My back is screaming. I can barely stand straight. But tonight is the last night I'll have to do this. Tomorrow, Dr. Blake comes for Mr. Edwards' heart checkup. After tonight, I can rest. Just tonight. Edward's dignity is worth one more night of pain. That's what I keep telling myself. I hope it's true." That evening, Anna made Edward's favorite dinner, helped him eat because his hands shook, laughed at jokes she'd heard 100 times. At 9 p.m., she said the words she'd said 13 times before. "Ready to go upstairs, Mr. Edward?" Edward looked at her, really looked. "Anna, your hands are shaking, your face is gray. Please, not tonight." Anna smiled, the smile hiding everything. "I'm fine, let's go home." She called his bedroom home. That's what it was. 9:15. They started up. Stair 10, vision blurred. 20, gasping. 31, tears ran. Not just from pain, though pain was fire down her spine, but from knowing this was it. Tomorrow she'd tell Peter. Get help, tomorrow. Tonight, Edward sleeps in his bed with dignity intact. Stair 31, she heard it. Front door opening. Footsteps. Christopher's voice. "Dad, Anna, I caught an early flight. I'm home." Christopher climbed fast. Tie loose, jacket over shoulder, 30 hours awake. Dubai to London to JFK. He wanted shower, bed, 15 minutes with Dad. He reached the landing. Saw them. His 79-year-old father on a woman half his size. Anna's face streaked with tears, legs shaking visibly, back bent at an angle that made his stomach drop. Edward whispering, I'm sorry. Christopher's first thought wasn't, why is this happening? It was, why is she doing this? Anna, what the hell are you doing? Where's the elevator? Why didn't you call someone? Anna's voice barely a whisper. Elevator broke. 14 days ago. I called you 9 times. Your assistant said critical meetings, not to disturb unless life-threatening. Christopher's anger came fast. Not at himself, not yet. At the situation, the assistant, the company. 14 days? Nobody told me? Anna took another step. Stair 32, Peter told you. Emailed day 2, you never answered. Christopher pulled out his phone, opened email, searched elevator. There it was. Peter's message. Urgent. Sent 13 days ago. 2,356 unread emails total. He'd never seen it. Anna, his voice changed. Why didn't you stop? Why not let him sleep downstairs? Edward answered weakly. I asked her to, every day. She refused. Why would she refuse? That doesn't make sense. Anna took step 33, 34, didn't answer, using everything left to move. Edward spoke again. Because your staff works down there. If they saw me unable to control my body, unable to walk, Voice broke. She knows I'd rather die than lose dignity. She protected that. Christopher moved forward. Stop, please. Let me help. Anna stopped. Stair 38. 4 to go. She looked at him. He saw it now. Not just pain, shame, of being seen, of struggle witnessed. I had it under control, just needed 4 more steps. Christopher lifted his father off Anna's back. 180. He was healthy 38, personal trainer 4 times weekly. Weight still surprised him. Carried Edward up 4 stairs to bedroom, tucked him in. Edward fell asleep immediately, exhausted. Coming back, Anna sat stair 38, head in hands, sobbing, not crying, sobbing. The kind when you've held everything too long and dam breaks. Shoulders shook, back bent at terrible angle, looked ready to snap. Christopher sat next to her, cold marble beneath. He had no words. For once, Christopher Sterling, who'd negotiated billion-dollar deals in 4 languages, had nothing to say. Anna, why not quit? Why not leave? Anna looked at him like he'd asked why not stop breathing. Because he needed me, and I failed my father. I wasn't going to fail his. Christopher helped Anna to her room, noticed how she walked. Like every step sent shocks. Like ground was broken glass. 2 years. Had she always walked that way? How had he never noticed? Room small but organized. Bed made. Clothes hung neat. Nightstand. Photo of young woman graduating. Worn Bible, pill bottle, extra strength ibuprofen. Do not exceed 6 tablets. Envelope marked medical urgent red pen. Christopher picked up envelope. Anna tried taking it. That's private. He opened anyway. 3 x-rays. Dated 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 days ago. Couldn't read x-rays, but could read notes. Grade 2 herniated disc. Patient advised no heavy lifting. Grade 3, non-compliant. Grade 4, severe compression L4L5. Immediate surgical consult. Risk permanent paralysis. Hands shook, reading last date. 3 days ago, day 11. She'd known 3 days risking paralysis. Carried father 6 more times, 12 trips, 12 triggers pulled on Russian roulette. Why? Voice cracked. Why do this? Risk walking for what? Anna looked at him with pity. You don't understand. Your father presided 1,200 cases. Decided lives, freedom, futures. Now can't control bladder. Know what that does to a man like that? What it costs every day to keep going? If staff see him that condition, they'll gossip. Pity him, talk in kitchen, and he'll know. Hear it when they say good morning. I was only one he trusted. Only one who wouldn't take dignity away. Christopher sat on bed, x-rays in hand. Images showed spine destroying itself, vertebrae compressing, nerves crushed, all for old man's dignity. There's more, Anna said quietly. Open drawer, pulled composition notebook. I kept diary. Wanted, if something happened, someone to know why. Christopher read. 14 entries, handwriting shakier as days progressed, pain scale 6 to 7 to 8 to 9. Hope Christopher would come decreasing, resolved to make it 1 more night repeating. Day 10, called office again. Same assistant, same answer. He'll be back in week, can you manage? I said yes. Always say yes, even when answer should be no. Last entry earlier that evening, handwriting barely legible. Day 14. Tonight is last night. Tomorrow, Dr. Blake comes for Edward's checkup. Can rest after tonight. My back screaming. Can barely stand. But made promise when took this job. Would never let Mr. Edward lose dignity way my father lost his, dying in public ward with strangers watching. If 1 more night of pain is what it takes, that's bargain. Christopher closed diary. Looked at Anna. You were willing to be paralyzed. For my father's dignity. Wasn't question. Anna didn't answer. Didn't need to. Christopher left room, went to Peter's office. Woke him, phone call 4 a.m. Need to see security footage. All of it. Last 2 weeks. Peter arrived 20 minutes. They sat security room, watched. Day 1. Anna carrying Edward up 22 minutes, 3 stops. Day 2, same. Day 3, same. Day 5. Anna drops Edward's leg, stair 18, catches it, face white, keeps going. Day 7. Peter walks past Anna, stair 20, sees struggling, keeps walking. Christopher paused. Peter. You walk past her. Saw struggling and walk past. Peter's face gray. Sir, didn't know how bad. Thought you'd approved alternative. You always say team handles things so I don't micromanage. Christopher kept watching. Day 9. Maria and Linda in kitchen. Anna visible on stairs, struggling stair 25. They see her, look at each other. One says something. Both laugh, walk away. Day 11. Anna stops stair 15, sits 4 minutes, chest heaving, timestamp 2:18 a.m., extra trip middle of night. Why? Christopher scrolled back. There. Edward bathroom accident midnight. Anna changed him, cleaned, comforted, realized too agitated sleep downstairs where staff might see evidence morning, carried him up 2 a.m., unscheduled third trip. Day 13. Edward tries crawling upstairs himself, hands and knees like animal. Anna stops him, gentle but firm, audio faint. Anna, can't let you hurt yourself. I'll crawl, don't care. Anna's response clear. Mr. Edward, you are not animal. You will not crawl while I can still carry you. You are federal judge. You will go up these stairs with dignity or not at all. Christopher stopped footage, couldn't watch more. Opened laptop, searched Peter's message, found it, sent 13 days ago. Urgent elevator repair approval needed, clicked inbox. 2,356 unread, searched urgent, 18 results. Peter's email, accountant about taxes, lawyer about contract, board members, investors, none urgent, not really, not like this. He'd seen none. Too busy, too important, too focused Singapore. Drafted email to Jennifer, deleted it. Picked up phone, called her. 4:30 a.m. She answered groggy. Mr. Sterling? Jennifer, you're terminated effective immediately. HR will contact you. Don't come to office. What? Why? What did I do? 3 words. You didn't tell me. Hung up. Next call, elevator company. Didn't care. 4:45 a.m. Phone rang 8 times. Hello? This is Christopher Sterling. Broken elevator at my residence, Boston. Need 3 best technicians by 8 a.m. Don't care what costs. Don't care if fly from Milan on private jet. Fix today or I'll buy your company tomorrow and fire everyone. Sir, I'm just night service. Can't authorize. Find someone who can. 30 minutes, 8 a.m., 3 technicians. Or I start calling board directors. Gave address, last call, Dr. Morrison. Looked up number from Anna's phone. Dialed, emergency line, tired voice, Dr. Morrison's service. This is Christopher Sterling, calling about Anna Wilson. She's been doing heavy lifting against medical advice. Grade 4 herniated disc. Need Morrison call me immediately. Pause. Sir, it's 5 a.m. Aware of time. Emergency Anna Wilson. Need surgery today. Not next week. Today. Have Morrison call within hour, or I'll show up his office 8. Voice more alert, I'll page him right away. Christopher hung up. Sat dark security room. Peter left at some point, hadn't noticed. Stared frozen image. Anna stare 31. Edward on back. Both trapped that moment. Stood up, walked to stairs. Looked at them. 42 steps. Counted. 1, 2, 3. All way to 42. Anna climbed these 28 times 14 days. 588 up, 588 down. 1,176 total. Carrying father, destroying spine. While he'd been Singapore. Walked to father's bedroom. Dawn breaking. Gray light through curtains. Edward awake, sitting up, looking out window at garden he couldn't walk to. Son, Edward said quietly without turning. I tried telling you, tried calling. Your assistant said busy. Christopher sat edge of bed. Dad, I'm so sorry. Edward shook head. Words are cheap, son. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to Anna. She saved my life, not medical sense, in way that matters. Let me be man when everyone else wanted make me patient. Protected something you didn't even know I was losing. Christopher looked at father. Really looked, first time in years. Tremor in hands, rounded shoulders, sadness in eyes. This man raised him alone after mother died. Worked 2 jobs for good schools, taught integrity, fairness, doing right. Christopher repaid by being too busy read email. Dad, voice breaking, how did it get this bad? Edward's answer simple, devastating. You built empire, son. Empires need emperors. Emperors don't have time for fathers. Christopher left his father's room. It was 6 a.m. now. House waking up. He heard sounds from kitchen. Went there. Found Maria and Linda starting morning routine. They saw him, immediately straightened up, fake smiles plastered on. Christopher didn't smile back. Both of you, pack your things. You're fired. Maria's face went red. What? You can't just... Christopher's voice quiet, which made it worse. I watched security footage, day 9. You saw Anna struggling on stairs. You laughed, then walked away. Get out of my house. Linda stepped forward. Mr. Sterling, that's not fair. It's not our job to... Christopher cut her off. Get out. Both of you have 1 hour. After that, I'm calling security to remove you. And when you apply for your next job, when they call me for reference, I'll tell them exactly what kind of people you are. People who laugh at suffering. They left sputtering protests. Christopher didn't care. He went back to security room, sat down, replayed footage one more time, this time looking for what he'd missed. Day 2 footage showed something he hadn't noticed before. Peter standing at bottom of stairs watching Anna carry Edward up. Peter's face showed concern, but he didn't move, didn't help, just watched, then walked away. Christopher fast-forwarded to day 6. There, Chef Robert in hallway, saw Anna at stair 12 struggling, hesitated, then went back to kitchen. Christopher paused, rewound, watched again. Robert had seen, had hesitated, had chosen not to help. Day 8, gardener Tom outside, visible through window. Anna carrying Edward past second-floor window. Tom looked up, saw, looked away, kept trimming hedges. Everyone had seen, everyone had known, everyone had walked away. Christopher opened his laptop again, went back to that email from Peter, read it carefully this time. Sir, the elevator is down. Company can expedite for $18,000 total versus standard 6-week wait. Edward needs reliable second-floor access for bedroom and bathroom. Please advise on approval for expedited service. Peter had been clear, direct, urgent. Christopher checked the email metadata, sent at 8:03 p.m. Peter had sent it immediately after talking to the repair company, had done everything right. The system had failed. No, Christopher had failed. He searched his sent folder, found emails from that same day, to his COO about Singapore expansion, to his lawyer about contract terms, to his accountant about tax strategy. 12 emails sent, none to Peter, none about his father. His phone rang. Dr. Morrison. Christopher answered immediately. Mr. Sterling, I got your message. Anna Wilson is your father's caregiver? Yes, and she's been doing heavy lifting with a grade 4 disc for 14 days, carrying my father up 42 stairs twice daily. Dr. Morrison's silence was heavy. Then, Mr. Sterling, I explicitly told her to stop, multiple times. I have documentation. I texted her. I warned her about paralysis. She ignored me. I know. I found the texts, the x-rays, everything. She needs surgery immediately. I can do it today at 2 p.m., but Mr. Sterling, you need to understand something. Grade 4 means the disc is severely compressed. Surgery might not restore full function. She might have chronic pain for life. She might need physical therapy for years. This is serious. Do whatever you need to do. Money's not an issue. It's not about money. It's about whether she can walk normally again. I'll do my best, but I can't make promises. Do your best. That's all I'm asking. Christopher gave him details. Dr. Morrison said he'd send an ambulance at 9 a.m. Christopher hung up, checked his watch, 6:30. He had 2.5 hours before the ambulance arrived. He went back upstairs, knocked on Anna's door. No answer. Opened it slowly. Anna was lying on bed, fully clothed, staring at ceiling. She looked at him but didn't speak. Anna, Christopher said, Dr. Morrison is sending an ambulance at 9. You're having surgery today. Anna didn't argue, just nodded. I figured. I'm paying for everything. Surgery, recovery, physical therapy, whatever you need. Anna still didn't look at him. You don't have to do that. Yes, I do, because this is my fault. All of it. Anna finally turned her head, looked at him. Your fault? No. I made choices, every day. I chose. Christopher sat on edge of her bed. Anna, you called me 9 times. You tried to tell me. I didn't listen. You were busy, building your empire. That's not an excuse. Being busy is never an excuse for not caring. My father told me something just now. He said empires need emperors, and emperors don't have time for fathers. He's right. I've been so focused on building something big, I forgot about the people who actually matter. Anna closed her eyes. Your father loves you. He talks about you all the time, how proud he is, how you built everything from nothing. He shouldn't be proud. I abandoned him, outsourced his care, treated him like a problem to be solved with money, and you paid the price. Anna opened eyes again. Mr. Sterling, can I tell you something, please? And call me Christopher. Christopher. Your father's happiest moments these past 2 years weren't when you visited. They were when you called. Even 5-minute calls from airports. He'd replay those conversations for hours. Tell me what you said, what deals you were working on. He was living through you. Your success was his success. Does that make sense? Christopher felt something crack in his chest. That makes it worse, don't you see? He shouldn't have to live through me. He should have me, actually have me, present. Here. Anna smiled sadly. You're here now? Only because I stumbled onto you at 3 a.m. If I hadn't caught that early flight, if I'd stayed in Singapore like planned, you'd have made it to day 15, day 20, however long it took. You'd have destroyed yourself completely and I'd never have known. But you did come home. You did see. That counts. Christopher shook his head. It doesn't count nearly enough. But Anna, I'm going to make this right, however long it takes, whatever it costs. I'm going to make this right. Anna looked at him for a long moment, then said something that would haunt Christopher forever. Mr. Sterling, you can't buy back time. No amount of money fixes what's already gone. All you can do is be better going forward. Question is, will you, or will this be a nice gesture you forget about in 6 months when the next big deal comes along? Christopher had no answer, because she was right to doubt him. He'd proven himself untrustworthy, unreliable, absent. Words were cheap. His father had said so. The only thing that would matter now was action, sustained, consistent, lasting. I'll prove it to you, he finally said. I'll prove I can be better. Anna closed her eyes again. We'll see. At 7 a.m., Christopher went back to security room. Peter was there, hadn't left. He looked exhausted. Christopher sat next to him. They both stared at blank monitors. Sir, Peter finally said, I need to show you something. Something I should have shown you weeks ago. What? Peter pulled up different footage. Not stairs, kitchen, day 3, Maria and Linda talking while preparing breakfast. Audio clear, Maria's voice. Did you see that black woman carrying Mr. Edward last night? Linda. She's trying to play hero, probably angling for raise. Maria laughed. Or hoping Mr. Sterling feels sorry for her. They always do that. Christopher's jaw clenched. Keep playing. Day 5. Same location. Linda. How long can she keep this up? Maria. Who cares? Not our problem. If she wants to break her back, her choice. Linda. Should we tell Mr. Sterling? Maria. Tell him what? He doesn't care. Never here anyway. Day 7. Robert joins them. Saw Anna struggling today. Looked bad. Maria. So help her. Robert. Not my job. I cook. Peter hired her for care, not me. Linda. Exactly. Everyone has their role. Day 10. All 4 staff members in kitchen. Tom. Elevator's been broken 10 days. Woman's going to hurt herself. Maria. Then she should quit. Nobody's forcing her. Linda. She won't. Needs money. Single mother, daughter in Nigeria. She'll do anything keep this job. Robert. Not our problem. Tom. Feels wrong, though. Maria. You want to carry 180 man up 42 stairs? Be my guest. Otherwise, mind your business. Christopher stopped footage. Felt sick. They'd known. Everyone had known. And they'd done nothing. Worse than nothing. Mocked her. Peter's voice quiet. Sir, I should have intervened. Should have forced issue. Should have called you directly instead of going through Jennifer. This is on me, too. You're not fired, Peter, but you're on thin ice, understand? Yes, sir. Christopher left security room. Went to study. Opened laptop. Started documenting everything. Needed to see it all laid out. Understand full scope of failure. Created spreadsheet. Timeline on left. Events on right. Day 0. Elevator breaks. Peter emails 8:03 p.m. Day 1. Anna carries Edward first time. 22 minutes. Pain level 6. Day 2. Peter's email still unread. Christopher sends 12 work emails. None about father. Day 3. Staff mock Anna in kitchen. Pain level 6.5. Day 4. Christopher extends Singapore trip. Pain level 7. Day 5. Anna drops Edward's leg. Peter sees struggling. Walks away. Pain level 7.5. Day 6. Robert sees struggling. Chooses not to help. Pain level 8. Day 7. Christopher cancels return. Extends trip another week. Pain level 8. Day 8. Anna visits Morrison. X-ray shows grade 3. Doctor orders stop. She doesn't. Pain level 8.5. Day 9. Maria and Linda laugh at Anna's struggle. Pain level 8.5. Day 10. Peter calls Christopher. Gets told, can Anna handle it? Says yes. Pain level 9. Day 11. X-ray shows grade 4. Risk permanent paralysis. Doctor documents warning. Anna ignores. Pain level 9. Day 12. All staff discuss Anna. Agree not their problem. Pain level 9 plus. Day 13. Christopher extends trip again. Edward tries crawling. Anna stops him. Extra trip 2 a.m. Total 70 stairs. Pain level 9.5. Day 14. Anna can barely stand. Takes 4 ibuprofen overdose. Final diary entry. Pain level 10. Christopher comes home 3 a.m. Finds them stair 31. Christopher stared at spreadsheet. Numbers told brutal story. 28 trips, 56 climbs, 1,176 stairs, 840 minutes carrying, 14 hours agony spread over 2 weeks, one woman's spine destroyed while Billionaire was in meetings. Added another column, cost analysis, rush repair, $18,000, Christopher's net worth, $3.2 billion, percentage, 0.00056%, less than 1,000th of 1%. Could have paid with 2 hours interest. Anna's medical debt, $18,400. Christopher's daily passive income, $240,000. Made enough to pay debt before lunch every day. Emergency repair day 2, $18,000. Anna's surgery now, estimated $250,000. Potential permanent disability, incalculable. Christopher closed laptop. Numbers made him sick. Phone buzzed. Text from Morrison. Ambulance en route. ETA 8:50. Surgery scheduled 2 p.m. Need you to sign consent forms as guarantor. Christopher texted back. I'll be there. Went to Edward's room. Father awake, eating breakfast Peter brought. Soft eggs, toast. Coffee, 1 sugar, bad day coffee. Edward, Christopher said, need to tell you something. Edward put down fork. I'm listening. I watched all security footage. Everyone saw Anna struggling. Everyone. Maria, Linda, Robert, Tom, Peter. Everyone walked away. Everyone except you. You tried calling me. Did everything you could. Edward nodded slowly. I felt so helpless, son. Watching her destroy herself for me. Begging her to stop. She wouldn't. Said my dignity was worth it. How do you argue with that? Christopher sat on bed edge. Dad, why didn't you just sleep downstairs? Really, why? Edward looked out window. Long silence. Then, because I'm 79. I have Parkinson's, tremors I can't control, I soil myself, need help eating, dressing, everything. And if I slept downstairs in public space where staff could see me at my worst every morning, I would stop being Edward Sterling. I'd become Mr. Sterling, the patient, the burden, the job. Anna understood that. Only one who did, so she sacrificed her spine for your identity. Edward nodded. I didn't ask. I begged her not to, but she did anyway, because she's a better person than anyone in this house, including me, including you. Christopher felt tears coming, fought them back. Dad, I'm going to make this right. You can't make it right, son. You can only do better going forward. Question is whether you will. Same thing Anna said, same doubt, same challenge. Christopher understood. He'd proven himself untrustworthy. Words meant nothing now. Only action mattered, sustained action, for months, years, however long it took to prove he'd changed. Ambulance arrived 8:50, 2 paramedics, professional, efficient, brought stretcher to Anna's room. She was ready, sitting on bed edge, small bag packed. They helped her onto stretcher. She didn't cry out, but Christopher saw face, saw pain, even lying down, hurt. I'm coming with you, Christopher said. Anna shook head. No, stay with your father, he needs you here. Paramedics wheeled her out. Christopher followed anyway. Watched them load her into ambulance. Anna looked at him through open doors. Mr. Sterling, she said. One thing, my daughter Sarah, she's in Lagos. If something happens to me, please make sure she knows. Make sure she's okay. Christopher's throat tight. Nothing's going to happen. But yes, I'll make sure. Ambulance doors closed, drove away. Christopher stood in driveway watching until red lights disappeared, then went back inside. Sat on stairs. Stair 38, where Anna had collapsed, where she'd sobbed, where her body finally admitted defeat. Pulled out phone, opened notes app, started writing. Not for anyone else, for himself. List of promises, list of commitments, list of actions. Not someday. Starting now, today, this moment. 1, fire everyone who walked away. 2, pay for all Anna's medical care. 3, take leave from company. 4, personally care for father. 5, carry father up and down stairs to understand what Anna felt. 6, buy Anna house. 1 story, no stairs. 7, set up trust fund. 8, bring Anna's daughter to America. 9, create foundation for caregivers. 10, be present, actually present, every day. Looked at list. 10 commitments, 10 ways to be better. 10 promises he'd probably made before and broken. But this time felt different. This time he'd seen cost of his absence. Seen it in x-rays, in diary entries, in security footage, in Anna's face at stair 31. This time maybe he'd actually follow through. Christopher spent rest of morning making calls. First, his COO. Richard, I'm taking leave effective immediately. You're running company for next 6 months. Silence. Then, Christopher, we have Tokyo deal closing next week. Board meeting. investor presentation. You can't just, I can and I am. You're capable. Been my number 2 for 8 years. Handle it. I'll check in weekly, but not running day-to-day anymore. What happened? Someone I should have been taking care of got sick because of me. I'm fixing it. Christopher hung up before Richard could argue. Second call. Real estate agent. Karen, I need house. 1 story, no stairs, 3 bedrooms minimum, budget up to $1.5 million. Need it within 2 weeks. For you? No. For someone who deserves it more than I do. Find something with garden, accessible bathroom, wide doorways. Think mobility friendly. Third call, lawyer. Marcus, need you to set up trust fund. $3 million principal, income generating investments. Beneficiary is Anna Wilson. $3 million? Is this related to employment matter? Should we have her sign NDA? No NDA, no strings. She earned this. Christopher, as your attorney, this looks like admission of liability. If she sues for workplace injury, she won't. And if she does, she'd be entitled to more. Just do it. Fourth call, immigration lawyer. Jennifer, need you to expedite visa. Family reunification. Mother in U.S., daughter in Nigeria. Sarah Wilson, 19, university student. How fast? With proper documentation, 6 to 8 weeks. Needed in 4. Money's not an issue. Whatever fees, whatever expediting costs, I'll see what I can do. Christopher checked time, 9:30, surgery 2 p.m. He had 4.5 hours, went back upstairs. Dad, can you come downstairs? Need you for something. Edward looked suspicious but nodded. Christopher helped him into wheelchair, rolled him to dining room. Peter was there. Christopher called him over. Peter, call Robert and Tom. Get them here now. Mandatory. They arrived within 10 minutes, nervous. Christopher had them sit at dining table, Edward at head, Christopher standing. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what I saw on security footage. Then I'm going to tell you what's changing. Nobody leaves until I'm done. Started with day 3. Played audio of Maria and Linda's conversation. Your kind, always angling for more. They looked at floor. Day 5. Peter walking past Anna struggling. Peter's face went red. Day 7. Robert seeing Anna through hallway, hesitating, choosing kitchen. Robert shifted uncomfortable. Day 10. All 4 of you discussing Anna, agreeing not your problem. Tom looked up. Sir, I didn't mean... Christopher held up hand. I'm not done. Day 13. Anna carried my father 3 times that day because he had accident at midnight and she didn't want any of you to see him. She climbed 70 stairs instead of usual 42 to protect his dignity from you, from people he trusted. Edward's hands shaking. Not from Parkinson's, from anger. And through all 14 days, every single one of you saw her destroying herself, saw pain, struggle, and you walked away, you laughed, you gossiped, but didn't help. Tom spoke. Mr. Sterling, I'm just Gardner. Didn't think it was my place to... Your place? Christopher's voice rose. Your place as human being is to help someone in pain. That's everyone's place. Maria and Linda already fired. Now I decide what to do with rest of you. Peter stood. Sir, I take full responsibility. Should have escalated harder. Should have called your personal phone. Fire me. I deserve it. Christopher looked at him. You do deserve it. But I'm not firing you, because you at least tried, sent email, called me. Made effort. Wasn't enough, but more than nothing. You're on probation. 6 months. 1 more failure and you're done. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Christopher turned to Robert and Tom. You two have choice. Either quit now with 2 months severance or stay with new understanding. This house is not just workplace. It's home. My father's home. Anna's home. And in home, you help family, even when not your job description, even when inconvenient, even when nobody's watching. You help because it's right. Can you do that? Robert nodded immediately. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Should have done better. Will do better. Tom nodded. Me too. Won't happen again. Good. Because if it does, you're both out. Now get back to work. They left. Peter started following. Christopher stopped him. Peter, one more thing. Document everything that happened. Full report, timeline, security footage, Anna's diary, medical records, everything. I'm going public. Peter's eyes widened. Sir, are you sure? The publicity. I don't care about publicity. Care about accountability, mine. This system failed because I built it to fail. I hired people who cared more about job descriptions than human decency. Created culture where calling me was harder than watching someone suffer. That's on me. And I'm owning it publicly. I'll have report ready by end of week. Christopher went back upstairs. Father had wheeled himself back to room. Christopher found him sitting by window. Dad? Edward didn't turn. I'm ashamed, son. Ashamed people working in my house could be so cruel. Ashamed I didn't fire them myself. Ashamed I needed Anna to protect me from my own staff. You have nothing to be ashamed of. They do. I do. Edward finally turned. Look at me, Christopher. Really look. I'm old, sick, dying slowly, and only dignity I have left is what other people choose to give me. Anna chose to give it. You chose to take it away by being absent. Those staff chose to watch me lose it without caring. That's what old age is. Becoming dependent on kindness of others, discovering who actually has kindness to give. Christopher knelt next to wheelchair, put hand on father's shaking hand. Dad, I'm here now, not leaving again. For how long? Until next big deal? For as long as it takes, however many months, years. I'm not going anywhere. Edward searched his son's face, finally nodded. We'll see. Elevator company called 10 a.m., technicians on site, fixed by 3 p.m. Christopher thanked them, then did something he'd been thinking about since dawn. Dad, it's almost lunchtime. Let's go downstairs. Edward looked at elevator shaft, still broken. How? I'm carrying you. Edward's eyes widened. Christopher, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Need to feel what Anna felt. Need to understand what it costs. Christopher had worked out with personal trainer 4 times weekly for years. Strong, healthy, 38. He lifted father from wheelchair. 180, heavy but manageable. Started downstairs. By stair 10, shoulders ached. By 20, breathing hard. By 30, he understood. This wasn't about strength, about repetition, same weight, same motion, same 42 stairs, over and over. Anna had done 28 times. He'd done once and was already exhausted. Set Edward down gently at bottom, helped him into wheelchair. Peter had lunch ready. They ate together. First meal Christopher and Edward had shared in 6 months. After lunch, carried Edward back up. 42 stairs, took 19 minutes, same as Anna's first time, but Christopher was healthy. Anna had herniated disc. Christopher had personal trainer. Anna had been in chronic pain. He'd done 2 trips, needed ice pack. She'd done 28, needed surgery. Over next 6 weeks, Christopher carried father twice daily, even after elevator was fixed 3 p.m. that first day. Needed to understand. By day 3, shoulders burned. By day 7, back ached. By day 14, using ice packs and ibuprofen. Healthy 38-year-old man, and by day 14, in pain. Anna had been 45-year-old woman with pre-existing injury, and she'd done 28 trips. On day 28, Christopher carried father upstairs for 56th time, set Edward down, went to own room, sat on bed, cried. Not from physical pain, though he was in pain, but from understanding, from weight of what Anna had sacrificed, from knowledge he'd let it happen. Started writing that night, essay that became blog post, that became op-ed for New York Times. I forgot to fix an elevator. What a billionaire learned from a housekeeper about wealth. Essay went viral. 3 million reads first week. Thousands of comments. News outlets wanted interviews. Christopher did 3. NPR, Today Show, 60 Minutes. In each, same message. I thought wealth meant having resources. Anna taught me wealth means knowing when to use them. I had $3.2 billion and couldn't spare $18,000 to fix elevator. Anna had $18,000 in medical debt and gave up her spine for my father's dignity. Who's really wealthy? Attention came with consequences. Positive. Emails from caregivers sharing stories, nursing organizations asking Christopher to fund training programs, policymakers wanting to discuss caregiver protections. Negative. Business partners questioning priorities. Board members worried about extended absence. Investors nervous about company direction. Christopher handled it directly. To board, if you think me taking 6 months to care for my father is bad investment, you fundamentally misunderstand what I'm building. Want company that values people, not just profits. If that doesn't work for you, I'll buy you out. 2 board members resigned. Christopher didn't replace them. 3 months into Anna's recovery, Christopher started something new. The Anna Wilson Initiative. Nonprofit focused on dignity-centered care training for caregivers. $50 million endowment. Full scholarships for immigrant caregivers who wanted nursing degrees. Emergency assistance fund for caregivers facing medical crises. Hotline for caregivers dealing with negligent families. Initiative's tagline, which Anna herself wrote after recovering enough to participate. Dignity isn't luxury, it's human right, and protecting it shouldn't cost you your health. Anna's surgery had been successful. Dr. Morrison called it minor miracle. Experimental stem cell therapy. $250,000. 3 months physical therapy. She still had scar 8 inches on lower back. Told Christopher she wanted to keep it visible. Reminder of what I'm capable of and what I should never have to do again. Christopher kept every promise on his list. Fired staff who walked away, paid all medical costs, took 6-month leave, carried father twice daily for 28 days. Bought Anna 1-story house in good neighborhood, 1.2 million deed in her name. Set up 3 million trust fund generating 120,000 per year. Brought Sarah from Nigeria, first-class flight, full scholarship to NYU, green card sponsorship started. But more than that, he changed. Actually changed. Not just for 6 months. Not just until next big deal. Reduced travel by 60%. Had dinner with Edward 5 times per week. Actually talked, actually listened. Learned father wanted to be pianist as young man. Edward was 79 and Christopher never knew. Father told him one day, "My son came home. He was gone for 15 years chasing billions. Now he's here. Actually here. That's worth more than all money in world." Christopher realized he'd been measuring success wrong his whole life. Real wealth wasn't in bank account. It was in moments like this. Dinner with father, knowing Anna was safe, seeing Sarah thrive at university, time given freely, attention paid willingly, presence offered consistently. That was wealth. Everything else was just money. 6 months after that night on the stairs, Anna returned to the Sterling estate, not as employee, as family. She'd been invited to Sunday dinner, tradition Christopher had started. Every Sunday, family dinner. Him, Edward, Anna, and Sarah, who'd arrived from Nigeria 2 months earlier and was enrolled at NYU. Anna walked without pain now. Surgery had been successful. Experimental stem cell therapy, $250,000, 3 months of physical therapy. Dr. Morrison called it miracle. Anna called it second chance. She still had scar 8 inches on lower back. She'd told Christopher she wanted to keep it visible. Reminds me what I'm capable of, and what I should never have to do again. Sarah was thriving. At 19, she'd left everything she knew in Lagos to come to New York. Culture shock was massive, but she had her mother now for first time in 6 years. And she had purpose. She wanted to become orthopedic surgeon. To help people like my mom, she said. People who break themselves caring for others. Edward was same but different. Still had Parkinson's. Still needed help with daily activities. But something had shifted. He smiled more. Laughed more. "My son came home," he told Anna during one of her visits. "He was gone for 15 years chasing billions. Now he's here, actually here. That's worth more than all money in world." That Sunday dinner, Christopher made announcement. "I did something," he said. "Wanted to surprise you, Anna, so I didn't tell you before." Anna looked wary. "Mr. Christopher, you've done enough. Please, no more." Christopher pulled out phone and showed her photos. Gravesite. Restored. Beautiful. In Lagos, Nigeria. "I found your father's grave," Christopher said quietly. "Hired company in Lagos to restore it. New headstone, garden around it. And I added something." He zoomed in on inscription. Anna read it and her hand started shaking. Inscription read, "Chief Emmanuel Wilson, 1943 to 2019, beloved father of Anna. Your daughter carried your legacy across oceans and up 42 stairs. She taught Billionaire the meaning of wealth. She protected dignity when no one was watching. She kept your memory alive through love made visible. Rest in dignity, as she ensured another father could." Anna broke down. Full collapse into table sobbing. Sarah wrapped arms around her mother. Edward wheeled closer and took Anna's hand. And Christopher finally let himself cry too. "You gave my father dignity," he said through tears. "Wanted to give yours the same. Wanted him to know. His daughter is hero. And she's not struggling alone anymore. She has family." After dinner, after tears, after stories shared and laughter recovered, they sat together in living room. Edward at piano. Christopher had bought him Steinway, hired teacher to help him play despite Parkinson's tremors. He played badly, hitting wrong notes, hands shaking, but he played. And Christopher sat next to him on bench, playing even worse, both of them laughing. Anna and Sarah watched from couch. Sarah whispered, "Mom, are you happy?" Anna thought about it. About stairs, pain, x-rays, surgery, scar on her back that would never fully fade, and then about this room, this moment. Her daughter here in America, safe, her patient, no, her friend laughing with his son, her own body healed enough to walk without fear. Yes, she said, I'm happy. As they left that night, Christopher walked them to Anna's car, the one he'd bought her, safe, reliable Honda. Nothing flashy, exactly what she'd asked for. Anna, he said, need to ask you something. Why? Why did you do it? Really? You knew you could be paralyzed. You knew I might never even notice. So why? Anna looked at Christopher with something like patience, like teacher with student who's almost got it but needs one more hint. Mr. Christopher, she said, dignity is not something you keep for yourself, it's something you protect for others. Your father had already lost so much. Health, independence, privacy. Only thing he had left was his dignity. Choice to be seen as man, not as patient. I couldn't take that from him, even if keeping it cost me everything. Dignity isn't something you keep for yourself. It's something you protect for others, especially when they can't protect it themselves. Anna knew. Edward's shame would have destroyed him more than any physical pain. So she chose pain for herself. That's not martyrdom, that's love. We think busyness equals importance. Christopher thought 2,356 unread emails meant he was essential, but most important message, your father needs you, was buried in noise. Productivity without presence is just expensive loneliness. Success without attention is just wealth wasted. Anna had $18,400 in debt. Christopher had $3.2 billion in assets. But in that stairwell, on day 14 at stair 31, Anna was wealthiest person in building. Because wealth isn't what you have. It's what you're willing to lose for someone else. It's measured in scars, not in bank accounts. In stairs climbed, not in deals closed. Here's a question that changed Christopher's life. And maybe it will change yours too. What elevator are you forgetting to fix? Not literal elevator, but that small thing. That call you didn't return. That parent you haven't visited in 6 months because you're busy. That message marked non-urgent that might be someone's cry for help. That relationship you're outsourcing to later because work is demanding. That person carrying weight you never noticed. Christopher had every resource in world. $3.2 billion. Private jets, assistant handling his calls, system he trusted. He still missed what mattered. Anna had broken back and $18,000 in debt. She still climbed 1,176 stairs. Difference wasn't money. It was attention. It was priorities. It was love. So ask yourself tonight, who's carrying your stairs right now? Who's in pain while you're in meetings? Who's protecting your family's dignity while you're protecting your calendar? Who's shouldering weight you could help with but you haven't noticed because you're too busy counting money or emails or accomplishments that won't matter as much as people you let down? And most importantly, if you came home unexpectedly tonight, what would you see that would make you cry? What sacrifice is happening in your name that you're too distracted to notice? What Anna is in your life, destroying herself quietly because you haven't looked close enough to see? If this story made you think about someone in your life, someone who carries weight you never noticed, don't just think about them. Act today. Tonight. Right now. Call them. Not tomorrow. Now. Ask how they really are. Not fine. Really ask. Listen to pause before they answer. Notice what they're not saying. Look at what they're carrying while you're comfortable. Offer help before they have to ask. Because asking for help means admitting struggle. And most people would rather break quietly than burden you loudly. Anna taught Christopher this lesson at cost of her spine. You can learn it for free. Question is, will you? Will you read this story, feel moved for 3 minutes, then scroll on? Or will you let it change how you pay attention, how you prioritize, how you love? Today, if you visit Sterling Estate, you'll see 3 elevators, all working, inspected weekly. You'll see Anna walking on her own, visiting Edward every Sunday. You'll see Christopher carrying groceries up to his father's room, not because he has to, but because he wants to remember. And you'll see 42 stairs, empty now. But if you listen closely, you can still hear them. Sound of footsteps, counting, 1, 2, 3. Sound of love measured in steps. Sound of dignity carried on broken back. Sound of billionaire learning what it means to be rich. 42 stairs. That's all it took to change everything. Question is, what stairs are waiting in your life, and who's been climbing them alone while you weren't paying attention?